Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final episode of Fields of Mistria. We're continuing in winter to try and finish the last story quest, but I'm also focusing a lot on the museum collections this time. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Upon waking up the next morning, I saw that my farm was completely covered in snow. Winter sure came fast. Also, the winter theme is so good, I'm probably gonna have it in the background so that you guys can hear it as well. Hayden sent me a letter informing me that I can now buy alpacas and capybaras. On my way to the general store, I found a holly and a random ice block on the ground. I bought snow peas, daikon radish, cauliflower and beet seeds, as well as the only winter tree available to me, being a pomegranate sapling. Same as in fall, planting the seeds and fruit trees took basically the whole day, and I used the growth spell on the snow peas, as this is the only crop that regrows this season. Foraged the entire map with Mistria, completed the grass, insect and winter flower set. Then later in the evening I stopped by the forge to meet with Ulrich and March. Not really much to say about this cutscene. As per usual, March wasn't exactly thrilled to see me. However, after helping them out, he actually thanked me. Didn't expect that at all, but it seems like he's finally warming up to me. No pun intended. Day 86 was snowing. Funny enough, this counts as rain, so I didn't have to water my crops. Purchased a second pink cow and mallard dog, then spent the day fishing at the pond and at the river. On Wednesday I caught a frost butterfly, gave Dell the one chocolate bar that I had for her birthday, found a perfect emerald in the deep earth levels. I was mainly here to collect stone and essence, crafted a copper shovel before heading back home, and on day 88 I did the exact same thing, mining. The grinding paid well off as I had over 230 essence by the end of that trip, which might sound like a lot, but it's really not. With that I unlocked the lovable cooking perk, which has a chance to turn a cooked dish into a universal loved item, and a way to the heart, which fits perfectly with that. Got my first beats on 89, relaxed at the beach where I caught an oarfish, pufferfish, found an oyster shroom, and in the evening I warmed up at the Sleeping Dragon. Similar to summer, Raina is making weekly desserts where I get a free sample myself. This time she made berries and cream. Baylor, Nora, Rice, Errol, Adeline and Celine have a detective club where Baylor brought an antique painting this time. No idea what that has to do with being a detective, but they seem to have a lot of fun. Elsie is this season's game master for dragons and drama, more focused on the drama part obviously. And lastly we have Luke, Dell and Maple once again upstairs who play charade. While at Dean I also handed out more gifts since I really want to try and get as many cutscenes as possible before the end of this year. The following morning I received a letter from Juniper who let me know that she prepared a potion to test on me. Not really sure how to feel about that. The only thing I did that day was processing materials at the mill. This takes forever. Making 3 pieces of mayo already takes a whole in-game hour, but it is necessary as most of these are used for more advanced cooking. Sunday I got my first cauliflowers and then visited Juniper at the bathhouse. Let's get this over with. The potion she prepared for me uses a base of the spring water and she believes that this will give me the power of a dragon. That doesn't sound too bad. But of course, that was too good to be true. Instead, the elixir turned me into a horse. Now I understand why the quest was called Horsing Around. Very funny developers. I do look incredibly cute though. Juniper transformed me back into my human form and told me that I make an excellent test subject. Thanks, I guess? I had almost all the materials for the inn upgrade, however I am missing some glass and as far as I know this can only be farmed from specific enemies in the mines. So instead I purchased 10 of them from the carpenter. Yes, that might have been a waste of money, but I don't care. I've been grinding stone for so long and I don't want to go back into the mines anytime soon. After dropping everything off at the donation box, I wanted to turn in the request by talking to Adeline, but I completely overlooked the fact that I need 6,000 gold for that as well. That's an issue. I accepted a quest for Errol that day where he ordered an iron armor piece, so I made that for him, and it got the hasty infusion. Since I already had an iron chest piece on me, I swapped that out with the new one. I'm sure you won't mind the sweat and bloodstains. Monday the 8th was Hayden's birthday. He got one of my also precious golden eggs, which brought me up to 5 hearts with him. All the cooking I did yesterday evening meant that I had just enough money to complete the inn upgrade. Everyone in town was present and helped out. Landon, Rice, Marge and myself worked outside of the building. Celine Hayden brought some self-made planter boxes. Baylor and Ulrich lifted the heavy boxes inside, and Raina redecorated the interior together with the kids. This was the last major town request in the current early access stage of the game, and I'm really glad that I managed to do all of them. The shop inventory of the inn also got an upgrade. There's new recipes, dishes, and even furniture. For the inn expansion, I got a free mana potion from Adeline the next day. Apparently you can also find these in the mines. I finished a request for Aelan and Valen, who both gave me a new cooking recipe. Over the past 2 in-game days, I've been fishing quite a lot. Of course I want to try and finish the winter fish collection, but I got absolutely nothing new, just a whole bunch of treasure chests and turtles. Bottom 94, I at least completed the winter crop set, which gave me a sushi platter and summer table crafting recipes. Over at the carpenter, I bought the rustic cabin style furniture pack, purchased more cauliflower and daikon radish seeds, and upon going to bed that day I got my first tier 4 cow. I'm not gonna mention the baby animals anymore unless I buy a new animal that I haven't had before. Which I did on day 95. I bought 2 white rabbits, Yoshka and Zorek. I gave Errol a birthday present, spent a few in-game hours riding around town to look for new forage, did a bit of fishing in the evening where I found a water sphere, which was the last piece for the aquatic artifact set. On Friday I unlocked Living Off the Land, my first tier 3 skill point in farming, where harvesting a crop will occasionally drop a cooked dish that uses the crop. I spent a brief amount of time in the upper levels of the mines where I finally found a copper nugget beetle. Uncommon, my ass, I've been looking for this insect for ages. Further down at the deep earth levels, I dug up a seriously square stone. With that finished the upper mines insect and deep earth artifact collection. Later at the inn, I was finishing requests and handing out gifts again, and before heading to bed I made another wooden chest, which leveled up my crafting skill to 14. The gift giving paid off the next morning as I got 3 new heart letters, one from Adeline, her brother Eland, and Baylor. I gave Darcy some fresh milk for her birthday, made a silver leg plate at the smithy, processed mayo and cheese at the mill, which I wanted to use for cooking at the inn, but forgot that this prompted a cutscene with Baylor. Hemlock told me to wait in his room upstairs for him. Next to his bed was Baylor's diary, which mostly contains texts about his shipments that he transports to Mistria. Not as spicy as I thought it would be. I honestly can't really tell you what this cutscene was about. He thinks that Mistria will become a major influence in Eldaria once the town recovers, and is certain that he can make a lot of money here. Good for you, I guess? I keep forgetting that Baylor is the one who picks up my shipments every day, and he just said that I should keep doing what I am doing. That's it. After that I was occupied at the kitchen to make more cooked dishes. You see, I have decided that I want to upgrade my house. The money is easy enough, but once again I need a buttload of materials for that. Since I'd rather use the wood and stone for crafting, I thought, why not just buy the materials directly? I know, big brain. So on day 98, I made as many dishes as I could. I also got 2 golden cheesecakes from the chicken statue, which sells for 2,500 gold. Insane. Since it was snowing again, I tried my luck with fishing and actually got a king crab at the beach, one step closer to finishing the winter sets. The cooking definitely paid off as I made over 8,000 gold that day. I was kinda rich, but only for a brief moment unfortunately. I made my way over to the carpenter where I bought 400 stone and 100 wood, which was actually way more expensive than I thought. I know that some people probably think that that was a waste of money, but honestly I didn't really have anything else to spend it on anyways. And of course I bought the house upgrade. In the current early access version there's actually 3 house upgrades already. The first one makes the house just a bit bigger, and the second and third one both add new rooms. While at the carpenter I got a cutscene with Rice, who was reading up on the birds that used to live in the old birdhouse by the ruins, who seemed to be Mistrium bluebirds. To be able to build a new house for them, we first need a new tree of course, and he wants to plant a hawthorn seed. So we headed over to the ruins and planted one. Next time we can focus on making the birdhouse. Now that my own house is a lot bigger, I was busy with decorating. While I do enjoy the pieces of the rustic cabin style more, I thought it would be best to make the remaining furniture of the cottage set, since again I don't have that much wood available. I crafted a bigger bed, which pushed me to level 15 in wood crafting, and on day 100 I was still busy with decorating. I put in a sofa, made a little kitchen area, and in the evening I was pretty much done. It still looks a bit naked here and there, but I was completely out of wood by now, so I'll be adding a few more things later on. Since it was snowing again that day, I did a bit of fishing before bed, where I caught a dace by the river and a flathead catfish by the pond. Next day I donated all the new fish and completed the winter ocean fish set. On my way to the dig site I found a walking stick insect, then met with Aelin to continue our search for more dragonthorn pieces. During the cutscene we were looking near those pretty pink trees, which made me wonder if these are gonna be available in a future update as saplings for the farm. And shortly after, we found the dragonthorn helmet. Aelin thanked me for the help and went back to his office to study the armor piece. Bought more cauliflower and beet seeds at the general store and purchased 2 sheep from Hayden since I need their wool for more advanced crafting recipes. I rode over to the manor house on the morning of day 102 where I found my last winter forageable, a rose hip. These are located to the right side of the manor in an area which looks to be a potential future wedding spot maybe? For reaching town level 48, I got a Caldosian Traveler's Head, which completed my outfit. Makes me feel like a witch at Hogwarts. For a good chunk of the day, I rode back and forth between the river and pond to the west side of the farm because this resets the spawn points of the fish. I know this is a bit cheaty, but we're getting closer to the end of the season and I really want to finish the winter museum collections. I'm specifically looking for larger shadows in the water and later in the evening I found one, which was an alligator gar. And on Friday I did the same thing, all day. I also donated the rose hip, which finished the winter forage set, and after a bit of time I found the last pond fish, which was a giant tilapia. 104 I purchased a summit wallpaper and purple candles from Mary, 2 more cooking recipes from the inn, then gave Valen some peat she requested for her work. At the clinic she showed me around her basement where she explained to me that her family have been doctors for generations who made many contributions to the science of medicine, like the substance she gave to Hayden last time. However, Valen doesn't know the recipe to make more of the panacea, that's why she asked me for the peat, and this is her 312th attempt on it. I offered to try it out so that she can take notes. I mean, I'm already volunteering for Juniper, how bad can it be? And it was pretty bad. I passed out. Unfortunately, Valen had to use the last bit of panacea on me, but at least we now know that this batch also didn't work. Progress is progress, I guess. After my near-death experience, I went down into the Tide Caverns to collect some ore, but also to look for new artifacts and treasure chests, as I unlocked a new skill that lets me find crafting recipes in the mines. Before going back home, I finished the Tide Cavern artifact and forage set, which gave me a few new furniture sets, like this Explorer suitcase and a summer jar lamp. I didn't really do that much on Sunday. I reached 6 hearts with Hayden, had a look at the large animal buildings at the Carpenter, which I unlocked after reaching level 40 in ranching, but they're a bit too expensive for me at the moment, and was mostly occupied with looking for that one river fish I'm still missing. The next day I got an invitation from Hayden to start socializing Henrietta. As I had nothing else to do, I headed over to the general store where I met with both of them. Hayden brought a picnic basket and Henrietta was allowed to choose her own snack to bring, which was a piece of quality corn. Then we headed over to the pond to set everything up. A bit chilly for a picnic, isn't it? The kids showed up shortly after and asked if Henrietta wants to play in the mud with them. I don't know where there's any mud around at this time of the year, but I don't care either because now I've finally got some quality time with Hayden alone. Aren't we just adorable? Earlier that day I bought new accessories for my animals, like this super stylish mushroom cap for the sheeps or a top hat for the rabbits. Was looking again for that river fish. At that point I didn't realize that I need to look for medium-sized fish. I thought it was a large shadow, so I probably could have caught it a lot sooner if I did a bit of more research before. Oh well. On day 107, I gifted Hemlock a glass of white wine for his birthday, was mostly at the mill to process some items, and yet again, more fishing. The following morning, I visited Celine at her cottage to take a look at the seedling that we found back in summer. Despite her ongoing care, the seed hasn't been growing since my last visit. Her sister Dale came in shortly after to let us know that her mom made a cherry cobbler, and I suggested to bring the sprout along with us so that he can have a change of scenery. Over at Holt and Nora's place, we all sat down at the table. Holt made his usual puns, which I absolutely adore, and what do you know? The plant began to grow again. A lot actually. No idea what happened here, but I guess the plant has a thing for cherry cobbler. Today, it finally happened. After numerous days of fishing, I caught a shadow bass. I donated it to the museum along with some artifacts and the giant tilapia, and finished the winter river and pond fish set. No more fishing this season, thank you very much. Thursday I made a few more furniture pieces for the house, like those 2 wooden bookcases, so that the corner doesn't look that empty anymore. It's coming along very nicely. As I stepped outside, I caught a snowball beetle, another legendary insect, and speaking about insects, I am missing one for the winter collection, which was a crystal caterpillar. These can be found during a blizzard, so I spent the day riding around Mistria in hopes of finding one. This was the last blizzard during that season, which means I cannot finish the winter bug collection. It is what it is. 110 was focused on getting requests done, as I am very close to reaching the next town rank. I also made an iron watering can and shovel, which I should have done a long time ago. Was looking for overworld dig spots to find new artifacts, tested out my new shovel at the farm, and in the evening I was back at the inn, one last time for this season. Hayden brought his finest ingredients that day, which were used to make golden cookies, which sell for a whopping 2,110 gold. That's crazy. As I mentioned before, the kids have been playing charade, and this time all 3 of them played together and mimicked me, the farmer. It was pretty accurate as well. My favorite was from Dell, and I quote, "Everyone is obsessed with me, not yet, but soon. Running out of money because I'm building barns," very accurate, and passing out at 2 AM. Now, I can proudly say that I have in fact not passed out yet, well besides Juniper and Balin nearly killing me, but that doesn't count. Again, I love these little interactions every week at the inn. I'm always looking forward to them. My hard work paid off that evening as we reached town rank Sapphire. At the Saturday market I bought more decorations from Mary's stall, purchased the lark coop from the carpenter, which I swapped out with the medium one. Now I have space for up to 12 coop animals. Then bought 2 capybaras, Rosaria and Gale. Look how cute they are. And that brings us to day 112, the final day of winter. I finished the Eldarian artifact set, and while I'm here, I can show you my museum progress. Archaeology has the least amount of donations, but I at least managed to complete all of the cave level sets. I am missing 3 fish in spring and the legendary ones, though legendary fish can only be found after unlocking a specific skill point, which I didn't know until after recording this. The flora section is almost at 100%, which is really irritating as I am missing 1 single item in spring. Oh well. And lastly we have the insects, where there's also missing quite a few, but I managed to get my hands on 2 legendary ones, so that's pretty cool. Later I chilled outside with my animals. I'm very proud of all the color variations I got, and as you can see I have a thing for pink and purple. Here's a quick overview of my farmhouse. I really enjoyed decorating in this game, I think even more than in Stardew if I'm being honest. If we take a look at the skill tree, I maxed out both cooking and also animal husbandry, which is definitely my favorite part about the game. Woodcrafting and fishing could definitely use a buff in experience gain in my opinion. I spent a lot of in-game days just fishing and I'm only at level 26, which means I haven't even unlocked the tier 3 skill points for that. As I said before, we're currently at town rank Sapphire level 50 and I believe there's actually 2 more ranks in the early access version, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, that does it for Fields of Mistria. I really appreciate the few people who actually watched every episode. It means a lot to me, you have no idea. I had so much fun playing this game, and I'm gonna wait for the next bigger update and then probably continue on this save file, as right now there isn't really that much else to do. I could upgrade my house again and buy a few more animals, but I think without any story quests, that would be kind of boring to watch. Anyways, thank you again so much for watching, and see you in the next video.